If you own a Mac, then you've probably experienced the random quirks that Apple decided you just have to live with. Perhaps the music app randomly opening when you press the pause button, or the green traffic light dragging you off to a whole other desktop instead of just making the window bigger, or the red X button not actually closing apps, just kinda hiding them. But this app claims to solve all of these macOS problems. It's basically the missing settings page Apple never gave you. It's also $28. So let's investigate and see if these claims have any validity to them. So first things first, we have to actually download the application. And up until today, I was completely unaware that there was even a free trial. But the free trial is a little bit unique, I would say. Instead of having a typical 7-day free trial, you have a fully functional app that you can use. The only limitation is that there's a reminder to buy every 12 hours, which honestly, I think that's a very unique way of doing a free trial for an app. You also don't get automatic updates. So I'm assuming that you would have to go and re-download the free trial if you wanted new updates, which I suppose isn't the end of the world, but I do want to try this application because as you can see, there's about 1 million different features that this app actually has. So let's click download and see what happens. Save, let's open the zip file, and now we have our application. Now I'm assuming I have to put this in the applications folder. So let's grab the app, put it in the applications folder, and I believe we're good to go. Then we look up Supercharge and we get started. I'm assuming there's going to be about 1 million different security pop-ups. So let's see. Supercharge requires accessibility access. Quit and open system settings. Toggle that one. Input my password. Alrighty, so I believe we were actually ready to open up the app for real this time. Supercharge wants access to Control Finder. Okay. Sure. All right. Now, I suppose we look at the tweaks. I guess that's what they are called. So it looks like basically every feature that this app has, as you can see, there's a lot of them. I guess you have to enable them. You don't just get the app and it changes everything about your MacBook or whatever, which I guess is probably a good idea considering that there's hundreds of different ways that you can customize this. Let's just take a look through and see if there are any interesting tweaks that we could use. Ah, yes, this is one of the features that I actually wanted from this application. Fill window when clicking green traffic light button. If you're unaware of what that would be, in any app on macOS, you have these 3 traffic lights, as most people like to call them. You have the green one, which will maximize the window, but take you to a virtual desktop environment. But in any other operating system, what it actually does is the equivalent to double clicking here. It just maximizes the window, which in reality is what it should be in the first place. So, fill window when clicking traffic light button. Yes, I would like that. Hide app when clicking the yellow traffic button. Honestly, I don't really think this is a huge deal for me personally, but I would like to experiment with it. So I'll turn that one on again, open my browser. Interesting. So it just hides it like that. Very cool. I guess that's a little bit faster, but I really do like this animation. So I think I'm just going to leave it off for the time being. Move files to the trash with the delete key instead of command delete. This is actually something I've always wanted because, well, every single time I want to delete something in Finder, I always press the backspace key and nothing happens. It is very irritating. Why would you have to press command delete to delete a file when in reality you should just be able to hit the delete key? Is that not what the whole point of the key is in the first place? Man, I have a strong love-hate relationship with macOS because of things like this. Fun stuff, eh? Classic Apple logo and menu bar. Interesting. Okay, turn that on. Whoa, it's got the fancy colors. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I'd turn that on, but I mean, it's kind of cool that that feature exists. Show poof animation when closing a window. What is that? Let's turn that on. With a red traffic light button, Command W, or mission control. Okay, so if I open up, let's say my browser, and I hit the red X. Oh, did you see that? That was crazy. I didn't even know that existed in macOS, unless it doesn't, and that's just what the feature does. Wow, that's awesome. I gotta leave that on. Exclude items from the system share menu. You know what? I actually have never shared something via the Mail app in my entire life, so I'm definitely gonna turn that on. Simulate middle click with trackpad gesture. This is actually a banger feature right here. So if I turn that on, I'm not using the trackpad right now, but let's say hypothetically I was. If you open something like your browser and you make a new tab, you can use middle click to close that tab. But when you're not using a mouse and you're using your trackpad, on most laptops, you can generally speaking tap with 3 fingers to simulate the middle click. But on macOS, unfortunately, you can't do that. Why? Who knows? But this is a very cool feature. So hopefully that works. So let's see what else we got here. Interesting. Keyboard shortcut inspector. Detect which apps have registered or are listening for a keyboard shortcut. This is actually quite useful because you can check and see which apps are conflicting with each other for keyboard shortcuts. I wonder what would happen if I hit detect. All right, so I hit my keyboard shortcut for Clean Shot X, which ended my screen recording. Whoops. But I used the caps lock as a hyperkey in Raycast, so I guess it recognized that here, which is useful. But I wouldn't have guessed that Linear Mouse and Whisper Flow were also listening there, which is kind of bizarre. Oh, okay. So this listens to everything. Same with Whisper Flow. They both listen to everything, so it doesn't actually, there's no conflict there. Dock spacers? What do you mean here? Turn hiding off for the time being so we can actually see this. Add regular. Whoa. What just, hello? Why did Obsidian pop up? Okay, now we just have a spacer there. Remove from dock. Add small. Oh, it's going to do the same thing again. Interesting. So it adds a spacer between what you keep in your macOS dock and the apps that are open. Because QuickTime Player, I don't actually have that saved in my dock. It's just there because it was opened at some point. Cancel. Let's quit this real quick. Yeah, and then there's a little space there. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it looks a little odd to me. Very interesting. I feel like I could get lost in this app literally forever. Volume key step size. So you can change the amount that macOS lowers or raises the volume. So if I go up here, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a lot smaller. What if we tried quarter size? Wow, that is so slow. I mean, I've never really felt the need to have this, so I'm just going to leave it there. This is kind of interesting right here. Send media keys to app. The media keys would be the play/pause button, the forward track, and the backward track. So you can literally choose which app this works on. So if I wanted to set it to Spotify, it would only ever apply to Spotify. Because normally, if I hit one of those buttons, of course, it's not going to do it right now, but sometimes when I hit those buttons, it'll just open the music app for literally no reason. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times I've opened the music app because of that, but that's macOS for you. Supercharge adds useful items to system services menu. What is that? Oh, wow. Okay, so we have a lot more stuff here. What is any of this? I cannot figure out what this actually is. Am I just dumb right now? Do I have to Google this? Oh, okay. So if I'm in an app and then I go to here and then services, okay. Why is convert text to simplify Chinese a keyboard shortcut on my MacBook? Who in their right mind decided that, you know what, all MacBooks, when someone gets them, they need to have a keyboard shortcut to convert text to simplified Chinese? That is a requirement for all users. What? No, thank you. Please turn those off. That is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that. Okay, so these are all Finder context menu additions. So if I go into Finder, we go into services, no services apply. Okay, so if I go like that, no, it's, okay. Now they're all here. That's a lot of stuff. Okay. I mean, some of these might be useful. Copy folder tree is extremely useful when you're using a terminal or Claude Code or something. Oh, okay. So you can open a terminal tab directly from this little menu here. That's actually pretty useful. And then you can adjust all of them from inside here. I'm not getting into that right now. Sure. We can just leave it as is. Poof. Interesting. There are extra colors. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool, I guess. Close. I do not care enough to do all that nonsense. I haven't even opened the menu bar icon yet, but if I do, like, holy, this is a ridiculous amount of stuff. Mute sound, mute microphone, iOS notifications. You can decide whether or not desktop icons appear from this menu bar. Quit all apps, clear visible notifications, capture text, interesting, pick color. Well, that's actually kind of useful. You can go ahead and select a very particular color from your screen. It's pretty cool. This is actually a really useful app. Like, there's so many things in here that you would never think that you actually need until the time comes where you're like, you know what, I need to be able to pick a color. And then boom, just like that, color picked. Very cool. Very, very cool. Prevent music app from opening? Holy yes, please. This is one of the biggest annoyances I've ever had from macOS in my entire life. And finally, it's never going to happen again. You know, I could have sworn that in this section, there's a feature where if you press the red button, it actually quits the app instead of just closing it. Could be wrong, but I could have sworn that was a feature. So I need to do some investigation. Yeah, see? When I go to the website and I look it up, better window buttons. Red quits app. Green fills instead of full screen. Yellow hides app. But why am I not seeing this in the app? That's so bizarre because it says right here, unless it's just not in my version or something like that. But even still, that would not make a ton of sense because if I close the app right now, but it's still active. Yeah, it's still active. So it's not actually quitting the app. All right, after some investigation, it looks like that feature just doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of bizarre and slightly disappointing. It was actually the one feature I really wanted to use. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess I get the poof. Okay, so it looks like I was wrong. The feature does exist, but it's in an experimental section and it's not labeled the way I would have assumed. So it's quit an app when closing its last window. So if I turn that on and then I hit that, did it close? No, it did not. Oh my goodness, I had it on the wrong button. That would make way more sense. Okay, so if I open this, that should have quit the app, right? Oh my God, it did. Holy, we did it. We actually did it. That is the one feature I actually wanted to use here, and we finally did it. That is just simply exceptional. So after messing around with Supercharge a little bit more, the question is, would I actually buy it? Because I've been messing around with the free trial, and to be entirely honest, I think I definitely would purchase this app. Looks like for me to buy it, it would cost $28 Canadian, which I would say is a reasonable price considering everything that this app actually does. But for the time being, I think what I'm going to do is continue using the free trial version. And if the free trial version actually continues to provide value to me over time, I'm definitely going to go ahead and purchase this app. Poof.